welcome back. My name is Tisdale. I'm a part-time reseller on places like eBay and Poshmark, and today I'm going to go over the October Reseller Recap. So last month was pretty good for me. I have definitely been much more consistent with just my daily activity, listing, and just putting in that consistent effort. And I think that's really paid off. It is kind of hard to tell though what percentage of that is from being consistent and doing the things that I said I was going to do versus it just going into Q4 where people tend to spend more money. I will say for me as a reseller of mostly clothing, used clothing generally, yes, I have great sales in Q4, but I wouldn't say that they're as high as like retail stores and things like that would be. I think if you sell things that people can buy for others as gifts, this is probably a great season for you. I tend to have a pretty strong, October, decent November, December. Sales are definitely up, versus like summer or something like that. But January generally tends to be a lot better than Q4 for me. So it's kind of hard to tell if my sales doing well in October are because of the season or because I've just been putting in the time and effort. So I sold a total of 88 items, and 41 of those items were on eBay and 47 were on Poshmark. So pretty right down the middle. My total sales was $3,113, which is really good to see that number kind of growing. And after shipping and fees, my total payout was $2,193. So not too bad. My ASP is also $36. I would like to get that back up to $40, $45, but it's much higher than it was before. I have been and still are kind of trying to move through some old inventory. I think that's just kind of an ongoing thing, trying to find a good rhythm there. So now I'm going to go over items that have sold for me. These are items that I either sold for a high ASP or they sold very fast. And then on the flip side of those, some of them I wanted to go over, the ones that sold, very slow, it took a long time, or they sold for a very low ASP, and some of those items are the same items, just to kind of give you a feel for the items that I am tending to sit on more. So the first item are these Pillsbury Doughboy magnets. I initially thought that they were vintage because the packaging looked very vintage. They looked vintage. And at the yard sale that I got them at, the lady told me that they were from like the 60s or something. I don't know if she thought they were and they weren't, but they definitely were not. I think they were 2004.
You sit on a throne of lies.
So, I guess technically a little vintage, but definitely not from the 60s, but they still sold super, super fast within one day, which is amazing. I only paid $1 for them and they sold for $19.99. And then the next item was this RCA portable DVD player. I had known from seeing other resellers that portable DVD players can do decently, not, amazing as far as resale value, but they can go pretty fast. And this was no exception. It sold within one day. And I can't remember how much I paid for it. I need to pull in on my spreadsheet. I need to pull in the actual cost because I have them. I just didn't pull it into this spreadsheet. But going forward, I'll add that. So I think this was at a yard sale find. This was probably about $2, $2 to $5. I'm not even sure I would pay $5 for it. But it did sell for $20, and that flipping within one day of listing is fantastic. Again, not a ton of money, but to sell super fast like that, I'll take it. And both of those items, the magnets and the RCA DVD player, are both sold on eBay. I generally don't list hard goods on Poshmark. There are some exceptions, but for the most part, all my hard goods only go on eBay. But this next item I did sell on Poshmark, and it was one of the finds that I found in Vegas that I was very excited to find because I had seen other resellers find it and I had just never come across it. And I'm sure I'm going to butcher the name, but it's Gudrun Shojin. It is the green knit sweater that I know would do really well. I did not know that it would sell within one day, but it did. It sold for $71, and I also charge for shipping, so that's taken care of as well. And if I had to guesstimate again, next month's video, I'll have the cost. but I mean, it was less than $10, I think. I guess max would be like $12.99 as far as, Goodwill's prices generally are. And then the next item that sold very fast was these Merrill Spirit Wrap Mulberry Pink Performance Sandals. I was very hesitant to pick these up because they had like glue on kind of the rim from, I don't know if they got hot or something like that. So I was really hesitant to pick them up, but I think I only paid a couple bucks for them, which is why I was like, I'll go ahead and try it. And glad I did. They sold within 2 days and they sold for $25. And those sold on eBay. And the last item that sold super fast for me sold on eBay as well, and it was this soft surroundings blue like embroidered tunic. It was really pretty, new with tags, did have a small spot on the back, which of course I disclosed. And I had taken pictures of this item because I bought it months ago and I thought I had listed it, but I guess it got lost in translation somewhere. And when I was kind of, doing my bookkeeping and making sure everything I had was listed, I saw that it wasn't, so I finally listed it and it sold within 4 days. So definitely wish I would have gotten that up much sooner, but it sold within 4 days and it sold for $35.99. Next, I'll go over the items that sold very slow or for a very low amount of money, or really it's both. They tend to be both. But these are items that I was definitely getting ready to donate. So I sent out massive videos on them because it was kind of like, get them out now, or I'm just going to donate them because they're taking up inventory space. So for every single one of these items, I definitely lost money on, but I think I was able to collect, $1 or $2 on each one. The first item was this Phoebe Couture silk jacquard dress. The detail was really pretty on this dress and it was silk, so it felt like a no-brainer. Plus I looked up comps. I always look up comps, especially on things that I don't know. I guess I should say I don't always look up comps. If I don't know what the brand is or it's new to me, or if I know it is a brand that is very style-based, I always look up comps. So this one I did look up comps, so I don't remember what it was at the time, but good enough for me to pick up. However, it's set for 609 days. So over a year, and it just, no matter how much I marked it down, it just was not selling well. It finally did sell for $5. So I definitely, again, lost money on this. We know the Poshmark fees are $2.95 plus this dress cost between $6.99 and $9.99. So definitely lost some money there. But glad to see it go and got a couple dollars for it versus getting no dollars. The next item, or I guess I should say items, actually sold in a bundle, and they were sitting for between 650 to 780 days. So someone definitely saw this markdown and kind of bundled them all up to buy them. If they are buying them to resell them, I hope they have better luck than I did. But they were these Franco Sarto Melville suede booties, these Vince blue jeans, these Vince green military rolled trouser pants, and lastly were these Derek Lam, it was the 10 Crosby black trousers. So these Derek Lam trousers are the ones that took 780 days. I think someone bought them not too long ago, but returned them for fit on eBay. And a lot of times if I get a return on eBay, I won't relist it on eBay. I'll just keep it on Poshmark because I don't want to risk another return. I do provide as much detail as I can and measurements, so it always sucks to get kind of a return on fit when those things are provided. But each one of those items sold for $3.75 each. So definitely down a lot. I think my payout was like 30 cents per item. So honestly, probably should have just got rid of these, but when they bundled them all together and sent me an offer, I did go ahead and take it. And the next item is this Free People blue Trianon dress. I've had this one for 658 days. Free People generally will always sell for me. It definitely doesn't sell as much as it used to. I'm sure all you guys are aware, but I'll still pick it up if it's a low enough cost or if it's a substantial item. This being a dress, I I mean, again, this was almost 2 years ago, but I still thought it would sell for at least 20, but no, I kept marking it down, and it just didn't sell. So someone, I think, finally sent an offer on $8, and I took that, and glad to see it go. And will definitely be a little bit more careful about picking up free people, really no matter the price, because, you know, looking at this item now, I wouldn't have paid $1 for it. Honestly, wouldn't even bother listing it for a resale value of $8. And then the last item was another Young, Fabulous, and Broke red turtleneck sweater dress. I think this was in my last video. I was trying to push these out, and I think this was my last one. So glad to see these go. It took 662 days to sell, and it sold for a whole $8. So it's unfortunate, but so glad to see these go, because I have marked them down so many times, and I really thought they were going to resell for a lot more than $8. But in any case, like I said, adios. Right, and then the next group of items are items that had the higher ASP for me. So for these, they're 100 and up. And some of them sold fast, some of them didn't. I'll go over the days to sell, but this was based mainly on the ASP. So the first item is this Maneola. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. It's this blush pink maxi skirt, very pretty. It was a new to me brand. It took me forever to get this one listed, because I tried to get my pictures, the color in my pictures, to match the actual item as much as possible, because I don't want it to get returned based off a color. And sometimes these like pinky colors can not take photos well, or they just don't look the same on photos. So I had put it away, and then I went back to try to edit the picture, and I was like, this doesn't look the same. Anyways, it took me forever to edit, but finally got it listed. And it sold within 10 days, so pretty fast, and it sold for $100. And this skirt sold on Poshmark. So this was a new to me brand. I had never heard of it, and we'll definitely look out for it going forward. And this next item took me a little bit to get listed for some reason. I think it was just kind of put into a pile that I just didn't get to as quick as I would have liked. But it was this Loungefly Star Wars Mandalorian backpack. I love finding the Loungefly Disney backpacks. This one was new with tags, and I think it was also an exclusive edition. And I picked up this one and one other one, and it was at a yard sale. They were $20 each, and it was definitely in one of my videos. It was in the video where I bought that Supreme jacket, or the Supreme items that I don't think the husband really wanted to let go, but eventually did. And if anyone caught that video and was wondering, that Supreme jacket still hasn't sold. I'm going to be pretty firm on the price, or at least hold it there for a while. It's kind of one of those items I'm okay with sitting on for some time. It's only been listed for 2 or 3 months, so I'm going to sit on it for a little bit longer before I really look at marking it down at all. But anyways, this backpack was super cool, super cute. I love Mandalorian, and someone else did too. It sold within 15 days, and it sold for $119. And it sold on eBay. So this next item sold on Poshmark, and it was these Stuart Weitzman Highland boots. I love selling these boots. They can sit for quite some time, but they generally sell for good money. These only actually took 31 days, so not bad. I think it was because they were the taupey color, or it's like a grayish, light grayish color. You'll see it up here, obviously. So it only took 31 days to sell, and it sold for $159. Sometimes these can actually go for a lot more. It's just really depending on the colorway and if it has any kind of like staining or wear. This next item sold on eBay, and it was this Lily Pulitzer Esmeralda skirt and crop top set. So it was a 2-piece set, and they were both new with tags. I bought them together. They did take 122 days to sell, which isn't ideal, but it's really not bad compared to others. And it did sell for $107. I think I was hoping to get a little bit more for this set, just because it was really cute and modern, and both were new with tags. But after I had been sitting for 122 days, and I think someone sent an offer on eBay, I went ahead and accepted it. So love selling Lily Pulitzer. Some styles sell better than others, but definitely always look it up. And the last item that sold for the high ASP, I just pulled 5. I didn't want this video to go on for forever, so I just pulled the top 5 ASP, and they were in no particular order. But it was this Barber Original Tartan brown wax jacket, and I sold it on Poshmark. Barber Men's does a lot better for me. These wax jackets, by wax, I can't remember exactly what the definition is, but there's like a coating on the outside, and I believe it makes it waterproof. And then the inside of this had this really pretty tartan or plaid flannel liner. And these men's jackets can do really well and sell a lot better for me than what I'm finding with the women's jackets. I have quite a few Barber women's jackets, like the puffers, and they've just been sitting for a long time. I probably need to look at marking them down, or maybe keeping. I have an orange one, I think it's the International something style from Barber, and it's orange, which is my favorite color, and I thought about keeping it, and since it's been sitting there for forever, maybe I will. But anyways, this one did take 243 days to sell, which I have to say is a long time for me for a men's Barber jacket. But, you know, I'll take it. It was sold for $120. So, you know, I'll sit on anything for $243 if it's going to sell for $120. So that's all the items I'm going to go over for this month. It is definitely a really good month. So far November, I don't think it feels like it's doing as strong. I've definitely been being consistent, listing every day and just trying to be more active as far as looking at my items and getting rid of some. I have a bag right now that's sitting at a buy sell trade. Hopefully when I pick it up, they're going to take some of the items, and I'm really just trying to get rid of some of that older inventory and focus on items that sell really well and really fast. So for this month, I'm gonna kind of keep doing the same thing, listing, going through my items and trying to clean up the inventory a little bit. I want it to be a lot more I guess cleaner at the beginning of the year. I definitely want to grow my inventory, but I want to grow it smartly, so it may take a little bit of time. A while back, I did buy a bunch of jewelry, like 5-pound boxes of jewelry that I went through, and I'm trying to get listed, and I just don't know if I want to take the time to learn about jewelry because I'm having such a hard time listing it. I'm trying to find words to describe it because a lot of them, they don't have brands on them, and I don't necessarily know what the material is. So like it may look like it's turquoise, but I don't know if it's real turquoise. So I disclose that, but it kind of sucks because it's like if it's real turquoise, I'm kind of letting it go for cheap. But at this point, I'm honestly feeling kind of overwhelmed with it, and I just want to push it out. So I don't really care if it is real turquoise, someone's getting a deal, and if it's not, you know, it's inexpensive. So I haven't decided if I want to kind of dive into, I guess, other resellers' videos to learn a little bit more about jewelry. It really isn't grabbing my attention. I really like to sell things that I love and that like excites me. If I buy stuff that is boring or it's like hard to list, it'll just sit. So that jewelry I bought, I think in like June, July, and it's just been sitting. So I went through it pretty fast to get rid of, you know, broken pieces and things like that, but I just haven't had any interest in listing it, so it's just been sitting there. So I'm almost done listing it. I don't know how well it's going to do, again, because my listing skills when it comes to jewelry is not very good. So if you guys know any resellers, or if you're a reseller of jewelry and you make videos, you know, teaching, you know, other resellers about jewelry, drop the name in the comment below, and I would love to learn more about jewelry because I'm just having a hard time right now. But that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.